from John, from Ken, from Eric, from Mark and Sensia, from my old buddy Steve, Kalai, Jay, and it has been a great ride the past 21 or 22 years for me here at FIU. As you heard, I was permitted to do a lot of different things. Yeah, that suits my character. But I've taught at other schools too, and that was just not done at most institutions. So I'm more than grateful to the institution of Florida International University for allowing that kind of space that a faculty member could pursue interests, projects, and so on. Not many schools do that. One other thing about FIU, as Steve mentioned, I went to Temple University, 3 degrees, and Temple is one of our benchmarks here. And that means it's an urban, public, research university. And what I always loved about Temple University, that this was the school in Philadelphia. We had Penn, we had Swarthmore, we had Drexel for the techies. But for people who were first-generation college students, most of whose parents had emigrated to this country or something like that, Temple was like City College in New York in the old days, and like FIU is now in Miami, the entry path for people who needed an entry path that didn't have parents in a position to leave them a legacy. So FIU reminds me of Temple in that way. And it's a very, very good way. And I've taught at, super elite selective schools too. And this is where I have belonged, and this is where I've wanted to be. And my colleagues, the other faculty here, cherish that. There aren't many schools that do what we do, and what we do is perhaps the most important educational job that anyone does. Switch. Let me just give a quick shout out to some family members that are here. I'm so glad. My brother Ellis. Ellis is Professor Emeritus of Political Science from Temple University. And his lovely wife, my sister-in-law, Bobby Katz. And my other brother was intending to fly down from New Jersey, but there's a health crisis in his house, so he couldn't. But Sidney Katz is Professor Emeritus of Chemistry at Rutgers University, where he taught for 50 years. Wow. Now, there are 3 children, not one, not 2, thank you, Ellis. 3 children, all of whom, now I can say, almost, professors emeritus. That's a lovely thing to be. Let me also just call out my son, Rafi Katz, who FIU has been very good to Rafi too. He's about 1 year away from graduating, God willing, and he's been on this campus since he was, well, you saw some of the very old pictures with the Dalai Lama. That little kid was him. He grew up on this campus, and it's given him a wonderful opportunity to learn. And my wonderful daughter-in-law, whom we've come to love so much, Adina Katz, is next to us. And I'm not forgetting that. I'm not forgetting her, brother. And of course, more than anyone, my love for my wife, my gratitude for her support. You know, in the Bible, the word for wife is ezukenegdo. And that's a weird word. It means helpmate, opposer, or something like that. Right? So it takes a while. You have to grow up a little bit to figure out how those go together, but they do. Somebody's got to keep me in my place sometimes, and she's darn good at it. but the support has been tremendous, and the love is great. And now Ellen and I are about to start something new. Now we got 2 bits of advice, one for me and one for Ellen, about this retirement. The one for Ellen was, get him out of the house, he'll follow you around like a puppy dog. So she boots me out once in a while. And the other for me was, make sure you have stuff to do. Don't just watch soap operas and drink scotch in the afternoon, as much as that's delightful. But I'll tell you, my friends, it is not the last thing in the world I'm worried about. Just in the past little while, I've gotten some wonderful offers to do some things. One of my mentors and friends, Raymond Moody, told me, you retire from your job so you can concentrate on your work. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. I know it. So I will continue to work, but on an accelerated level with the Shivananda Yoga Ashram. There's a picture. That's good timing. Where I conduct seminars and brought FIU students and so on and so on. So I'm going to do that a couple times a year probably, and I love that place. I will continue to work with Rabbi Lipsker at the wonderful synagogue and college that he established, and we do public programming there of a remarkably high order, so that's part of what I'm doing. I'm embarking on an extended multi-year research project that's joint with FIU and the Van Leer Institute in Jerusalem, where we're studying the impact of New Age religions on Judaism in America and in Israel. So that's going to keep me going a little bit. I'm also, I wish I could announce it all together. It's not quite done. But I'm going to be working with one of the major universities in Israel to establish a Gandhi Study Center, which they want to model on the Bhagwan Mahavir Jain Studies program here. And we will be linked. And then I have some projects in India, some conferences on Hindu, Jew, And the last one I just got yesterday, I got a call from a friend of mine named Rabbi Marvin Tokayer, who's the former chief rabbi of Japan. And he's led all these Jewish interest kosher tours to China, Japan, Southeast Asia, and India. And one time he took me and Ellen and little Rafi at the time on a cruise ship around Southeast Asia. It was wonderful, and I gave some lectures. Well, Marvin is not so young, so he wants to cut back. So he's going to cut out the India trips, and guess who's going to be doing it? So if you want to go see India, high-end Jewish India, I'm your man now. So there's more than enough to do for me. We fully intend to remain in the area when we're not traveling. So, the department, spirituality, Jain studies, Jewish studies, these, after Rafi, they're my favorite children. They really are. So I'm here I got your back in any way that I can. And to my colleagues who are still teaching, appreciate the opportunity you have. Another Hebrew word is gratitude, which means to recognize what is good. That's what gratitude means in Hebrew. So understand, please, it's frustrating to work here. Oh, Lord. I know. But the purpose of working here is something that, please, embrace that. And I know we all care for our students deeply. I'm not worried about that. Care for the institution. Care for this unique role that you can do here at FIU. And thank you.